Sparklight is unveiling unlimited internet for just $25 a month. Get reliable 100 meg internet for just $25 a month for 12 months with unlimited data. That's unlimited internet. Call 877-469-3057 or visit sparklight.com/savings. Sparklight, a new breed in high speed.
Bowen Pharmacy supports the Parsons Vikings here, and here, and here. It's our goal to keep you covered. At Bowen Pharmacy, we give no excuses for you not to make it to the game. And it's always a great day to be a Viking.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Marvel Park. Scott Marlowe, Tony Fuentes with you. Time now for the Tank Connection pregame show as we get ready for quarterfinals of the 3A state football playoffs, the sectional round. Tony, Vikings haven't been this far since 2018, and they are looking for their first trip to the state semifinals since 1976. It's going to be a fun night as the Vikings tangle with the undefeated Hayden Wildcats.
It's hard to believe it's been that long. I was here for that Sabetha game in 2018, and I felt like we had a pretty good squad that year, as well as this year. So I mean, you never know, Scott. You know what you're up against,
right?
Until the actual. I mean, you can watch as much film as you want on somebody, but until you actually get out there and put body to body, it's tough. So it'll be interesting to see how they do it, and hopefully the boys are here to play loose and not nervous.
Right.
But I feel like if we limit the penalties, limit the turnovers, and Jamarin Washington does what he does, I feel like we got a good shot.
Yeah, and as I always do, I had texted Coach Scheibe, asked him for some of the keys to the game tonight, and you already mentioned a couple, cutting down on the penalties. You also mentioned earlier executing in the red zone.
Yeah.
You know, we can't let drives sputter. Coach Scheibe mentioned that. This was an interesting one, though. He hadn't mentioned this all year long. He thinks for the Vikings to win tonight, he wants a minimum of 2 big plays that go for touchdowns. So we're probably talking 30 yards or more.
Okay, that's good.
We're talking a big play. And the Vikings, they're going up against a defense that has allowed 0 or 7 points 8 times this year.
Wow, that's impressive.
Is a dominating defense. It'll be the best defense, the best team the Vikings have played all season.
Yep.
And that's why they're coming in at 10-0 and the favorite to go to the state championship game out of the East. But the Vikings have a great defense of their own. And you mentioned Washington. He's a load. And
he's tough to bring down.
He's going to get a lot of work tonight. But before we went on the air, you had also mentioned Vikings are going to have to mix it up, though. They're going to have to hit. They're going to have to hit Kendrick. They're going to have to hit Wheat on some pass plays.
I feel like if they can get some one-on-one, it's going to be how the game starts and gets going. If you can get Washington going at 4 or 5 yards a carry, then you can open it up and start doing those. If you got one-on-one with Landon Weed on the outside, I mean, he's tough to. I mean, he just his size is just tough to defend.
Right.
So I just feel like, without even seeing them at all, on defense, I feel like Landon Weeks should have a little bit of an advantage just for his athleticism. Mm-hmm. But it'll be interesting to see how we match up.
Yeah, it's going to. Vikes will probably have to play their best game of the season to come out on top tonight. But I don't, that Sabetha game you mentioned, I think the final was 62-18. I mean, it just was not close, and I just don't see that happening tonight. I think these teams, I think Hayden is probably a little bit better on paper, but The Vikings are going to be right there, I think, at the end. And as far as injuries go, the Vikings are in pretty good shape. Got a couple of guys nursing sprained ankles, but they're suited up and they're going to play. However, for the Wildcats, as far as we know, their starting quarterback, Jet Wallmeyer, is out. He didn't play last week, and we saw him out punting in pregame, but he didn't throw any passes. So we're pretty sure it's going to be the backup Connor Hanukkah, 6'3" sophomore, who is very talented too. And
there was a chance that Finn Dunshee might not play as well.
Yes.
He's definitely a stud in their backfield. But Coach talked about Cade Mitchell and that he may be carrying most of the load for the Wildcats here tonight. But it'll be interesting to see. Let's see what it looks like. Hayden is receiving.
Yep, they won the toss, and they have elected to receive. We kind of wondered what they would do if they won the toss. They're going to take the ball first as we're getting very close to kickoff. Yeah, the Dunshee kid that you mentioned, I believe he was last year was the 100-meter state champ. He could really fly. But even if he's out, they have a trio of outstanding running backs, and they typically run a wing T or double wing, very run-heavy, run-oriented offense. And I think you're going to see some misdirection. And the running backs have the luxury of running behind a very big very talented offensive line. So it's going to be a challenge for this Viking defense. But man, they've met every challenge this year.
Yeah.
They have, even in the loss. They gave. I don't even want to say they gave up 10 points because the one touchdown was
15 or 16 yards.
There was a 15-yard, 16-yard drive after some issues on a punt play by the Vikings. But we are just about ready for football as we conclude our Tank Connection pregame show, brought to you by Tank Connection in Parsons. And again, Scott Marlowe, Tony Fuentes with you. Karen Hardesty taking care of everything back in the studio. And Drew Fuentes taking care of our live video stream again tonight. Senior place kicker Jace Quirin has the ball teed up on the 40-yard line. A couple of Hayden return men set up around the 10, and we are underway. Great kick. It's going to be fielded inside the 5 at about the 2. Return man to the 15 has a nice block. He fumbles. Vikings have it at the 25-yard line.
That's a big play there. I'm not sure who hit him. Was it Jason Smart?
It may have been Smart. That was a huge play by the Viking special teams. And one of the things we didn't have time to talk about, Tony, in the pregame, Coach Scheibe said we have to take care of Hayden's miscues.
Yep.
And if they're anything like their basketball teams we've seen, there's not going to be very many
miscues. But that is right off the bat on the opening kickoff. I think that was Cade Mitchell on the return there, Scott, number 25, that coughed up the ball. So let's see what the Vikings do. I would venture to guess it's going to be a dose of Jamarian Washington to start this game, especially if you already got the ball at the 25-yard line.
So
I'm not sure what the stoppage play
there's
is.
a stoppage in play. Coach Scheibe was getting an explanation from one of the officials, but it looks like we are going to be ready for football. So, man, what a start for the Vikings, forcing the fumble on the opening kickoff. They have it 1st and 10 from the Topeka-Hayden 25. Again, Hayden perfect 10-0 on the year. The Vikings 9-1. Lone loss coming over at Frontenac a few weeks ago. Trey Mack, senior quarterback, gives it off to Washington. He gets hit hard, falls forward after a short gain. 1 or 2 yards is all he was able to get. He got hit hard.
He stuttered there, Scott.
Just a little bit.
I think if he would have jetted through there, he would have got at least twice the amount as he got. But, I mean,
it's almost like he was surprised there was an opening there.
Yeah. He stuttered just a little bit. It cost him a couple of yards.
Just 1 yard on the carry, so 2nd and 9. Again, this defense only allowing about 7 points a game. Vikings switch a couple of guys over to the left side of the line. Ball from the left hash. It's going to be a pass play. Mack rolls to his right. Has a man.
Wide open.
It's caught. First down.
Wow.
Inside the 15, down to the 14. Again,
he was right at the sticks. He got the first down. So
that was a good route and a good throw. And, you mentioned in the pregame you want the Vikes throw some and not just depend solely on Washington tonight.
Yeah, Landon Wheat was also wide open at about a 5-yard gain there.
So hopefully maybe that early on, that means the Vikings might have a slight advantage with their wide receivers. 1st and 10 from the Hayden 15-yard line. So they give it to Washington over the right side, hit hard.
Not much there. A lot of pushing and shoving between the lines.
It's
going to be physical.
It's going to be a very physical game, and Washington, who is so good gaining yards after contact, will have to fight harder than he's fought all year.
Yeah.
He has taken a couple of licks already. 2-yard gain. Ball on the 13-yard line of Hayden. 2nd 8 for the Vikes. There's the snap. Going to be a quick pass play, and it's almost intercepted, but we have a flag.
Is there a hold? I think J.J. Kendrick might have got held by Xander Blazing.
Yeah, the Parsons crowd reacted to something that I did not see. Pass interference on Hayden.
I had that post in my way.
So that's probably going to be half the distance to the goal. And I don't know that it's necessarily an automatic first down.
I don't think it is. I think it's
at the high school level.
2nd and about 1.5.
Yep, I think you're right, Tony. They moved the ball, looks like right down to inside the 6-yard line. 2nd and about 1.5 yards for the Vikings, looking to strike first. Put one man in motion. Ball is fumbled. Who has it?
I think Washington got on top of it.
We're in Washington. It was a low snap.
Lost
Vikings,
a couple of yards.
That's too bad because the Vikings probably had a great chance for 1st and goal.
Yep.
And that's kind of what we talked about, converting in the red zone.
Yep.
And you got to limit your mistakes when you have a chance. Hayden fumbling.
I'd like to see
the opening kickoff, and the Vikings have a great chance to score.
I say if Washington runs this, Scott, I'd like to see him bounce to the outside.
Yeah.
Because that interior line is
it's tough.
Yeah.
It is tough.
There's not much budge there. You're only going to get a yard or two unless you get somebody really put a hole through there.
Wheat split wide to the right. 3rd and 5 for the Vikes. There's the snap. It is a running play, and it's going to go nowhere. Loss on the play. Now we'll see if Coach Scheibe wants to go for the field goal.
He is.
He's going to send Quirin on, so the Hayden defense does their job. They're going to keep the Vikes out of the end zone, so that low snap kind of killed that drive for the Vikes, and now we will see. I don't know if Hayden's been behind all year, Tony.
Scott.
This will be a 30-yard attempt for Quirin.
That defense is tough.
Yeah, it's very tough. High snap. The kick is away. Looks wide right. He missed it.
Good.
He missed it. Wide right. It looked wide right as soon as it left his foot, so the Hayden defense, after the miscue on the opening kickoff, holds, and the Vikings come up empty on a golden opportunity. They had a 1st and 10 from the Hayden 25, Tony, and they come up empty.
Yeah, we got it all the way down to the 6. And, yeah, that's tough.
So
Let's
now
see if the defense can.
Quick snap. It's a running play.
Yep. They tried to strip it. I seen the arm go back.
Something was not right. That's why I'm speechless right now. Something was not right with the sticks across the way.
The sticks are way off. Way off. They're like 4 yards off.
I think that ball was snapped at the 20-yard line, and then he gained about 5 yards, and now they're getting it set up.
They're getting it right.
Yeah, because you're not supposed to have dead air on the radio, but I was speechless because nothing matched up across at the far sideline. So 5-yard gain. 2nd and 5 from the 25 for the Wildcats. No score, 8:25 to go in the first quarter. Hanukkah.
There's a timeout.
They're still having trouble over there, I believe.
I think it might be just official timeout. The ref on the far sideline, I think he's just trying to get the yardage sticks right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're definitely going to have to stop that run, Scott. Otherwise, it could be a long night.
There's the snap to Hanukkah. He wants to throw on 2nd and 5. He's got some time, and he's got a man open, and it's complete for a first down to around the Hayden 40-yard line.
Jensen Strickle on the catch.
Yeah, Strickle is a 5'10 junior. It was a good route. He had a lot of space there.
Yep.
So,
Hanukkah had a nice rollout there.
So this is a run-heavy offense, but Hayden throws on 2nd and 5. They'll have it now 1st and 10 from their own 41. Hanukkah under center. Running play over the left side. Yep. Caught from behind. Great job by the Viking defense. That goes for a gain of about a yard and a half.
Yeah, Cade Mitchell on the carry. Trey Tullis on the tackle for the Vikings.
Ball spotted right around the 43.
Good to see Chandler Henson back out there. He doesn't look like to be limping near as bad as he was last week.
Yeah, he suffered that bad sprained ankle. Good to see him out there looking healthy. Here's the snap. Running play to the near side this time. Boy, nice blocking out front. Nice spin move and a first down.
Big hit.
For Hayden. Dom Ridley, 185-pound senior. And you can just tell, Tony, the blocking scheme and the way they come off the line, you can see why this Hayden team is a perfect 10-0.
Yeah, Ridley and Mitchell both run hard. Yeah, Hanukkah brings in the play. Be interested to see what they do on this 1st and 10.
So Hayden marches into Viking territory. 6:45 to go in the first quarter. No score. Hanukkah, quick snap. Second man through, follows his lead blocker for a nice gain.
I think it was Ridley.
Inside the 45, down to around the 42 or 43-yard line. They're going to mark it nose of the ball right on the 42.
That was Broderick Desch. Number 44, 205 junior, 5'9" junior.
Jensen Schrickle is split to the near side. He had a reception earlier on this drive. Handoff over the left side. Some good blocking out front. Look out. He's into the secondary at the 10, 5, and a touchdown for the Wildcats. Got a 42-yard run, and that is what Hayden has been doing to opponents all year long. Cade Mitchell, 42-yard touchdown run, and Hayden strikes first. They lead at 6-0, 6:03 to go in the first quarter. I believe this is that Mason Becker out to attempt the extra point? Can't see it.
Yep, number 4. Yep, Mason Becker. Freshman place kicker. It's a good snap. Kick is away. It looks good, and it is. Good. So 6:03 to go in the first quarter. Topeka-Hayden 7, Parsons 0. We'll be back at the kickoff in 30 seconds. This is Viking football on V93.
Life is about movement, and the human body is like any high-performance machine. When miles add up, parts wear down, and that's when pain begins, and here's where it ends. At Labette Health, our nationally recognized orthopedic and sports medicine surgeons use advanced techniques to reduce recovery times and relieve pain for miles to come. Feel like new again at Labette Health in Parsons, Kansas. For more information, go to labettehealth.com.
Welcome back to Marvel Park, everybody. Topeka-Hayden crowd fired up after they scored on a 42-yard touchdown scamper. Vikes have Makai Baugh back deep to receive this kick. Who's the other guy, Tony? I didn't see his.
I think it's
Haygood.
No.
It's going over Haygood's head. Will it go out of bounds? It does. So we'll see what Coach Scheibe wants to do. And, Tony, even though we're only halfway through the first quarter, Vikes down 7-0, I mean, you just feel like the Viking offense has to answer.
Yeah, you have to.
They had that golden opportunity when they recovered the fumble on the opening kickoff. Just had 25 yards to pay dirt, and they came up empty. So
What's the option to get it on the 40?
Looks like we're going to re-kick.
Re-kick?
Coach Scheibe's going to take and that's probably a good move. I think, Vikings have some athletes, and, I think Coach Scheibe just wants to give his kids a chance to make a play.
Yep, one missed tackle, and we could be tied up. We got some kids that can take it the distance for sure.
So Haygood and Bob now standing at the 15-yard line. That was an impressive kick by that freshman place kicker. Even though he ended up booting it out of bounds, he's got a strong leg. High end over end kick. Who's going to get it? Haygood cuts in front of Bog. Is at the 15, 20, comes to the near sideline, 25, and cut down. That's a nice tackle right around the 26-yard line. That was Mitchell who scored on the 42-yard touchdown run.
Yeah.
He was one of the guys that, I heard Coach Scheibe talk about a little bit. And they just have athletes.
Yeah, he's quick.
They just have some outstanding athletes, some great football players. Bill Arnold, head coach, does a great job for the Wildcats. So we'll see if the Vikings can respond. Down 7-0, 5:58 to go in the first quarter. Trey Mack and the offense up to the line of scrimmage. Takes the snap. He wants to throw on first down.
Underthrown, but it's caught.
It's caught.
J.J.
Kendrick got around the 45-yard line. The defender actually fell down. Tony, if he had been able to get more air, a little bit more zip on that thing.
That could have been, he'd have been gone.
Could have been a touchdown.
Yeah, big play there.
And unfortunately, the J.J. kind of just landed right on top of the defender who had fell down, but still a nice pickup on first down. And Tony, it's too early to tell. We haven't seen enough pass plays, but that's the one area where maybe the Vikings have a bit of an advantage against the Hayden D-backs. We'll see how
he's throwing
going to throw again. Going deep, looking for
Landon Lee.
Did he get it, or was it intercepted?
Intercepted?
He got it from him. That's an interception. What a play. Or are they going to say that Landon was already down by contact?
I think he was down by contact.
They still haven't made a decision. Huge call coming up by the officials. I thought Landon had it.
Yep, I did too.
And then got the ball stripped after he had already landed. The defensive back, Schreikel, stripped it away. Vikings have it. Vikings have it.
That's a big call there.
Big play.
29, man, that was 38-yard pass play.
All the way down to the Hayden 22-yard line. So Vikings, got to start their first drive on the Hayden 25. Couldn't punch it in. Now they're looking at 1st and 10 from the Hayden 22. Again, the Wildcats leading this one 7-0. 5:21 to go in quarter number 1. Trey Mack from the shotgun. Takes the snap. He wants to throw again. Comes to the near side.
Man.
Looking for Phillips, and it's incomplete.
Yeah, he's ready to be a gunslinger tonight.
Yep. Vikes, man, they're showing no fear here in their passing game, and you have to think, Washington's going to get some more touches, obviously, but he took some big hits on that first drive, and Vikings weren't getting the kind of push with their offensive line that they normally do. So let's see what Coach Scheibe wants to do on 2nd and 10. They give it to Washington, looking for the edge. Gets by one man and then tripped up inside the 20.
He got 4 yards, I think.
That's a decent pickup inside the 20 to about the 19. And now I think, Tony, we might already be looking at 4-down territory.
Yeah. I don't think field goals are going to cut it at this point.
Ball spotted just inside the 20-yard line.
About a 3-yard pickup, wasn't it?
Yeah, so we'll call it 3rd and about 7 for the Vikes. They trail Hayden 7-0, 4:38 to go in quarter number 1. Trey Mack again lines up in the shotgun. He wants to throw, rolls right. Wants Wheat, overshot him. It's 4th down. He was open, Tony.
Yep, I think they're going to have to continue to pass here. I don't see any
offense staying on the field. So this will, I wouldn't mind seeing a screen pass right here, some sort of screen, because I wouldn't be surprised if Hayden brings an extra man, tries to put a little pressure on Mack. They haven't blitzed yet, but this is obviously a passing situation. Here we go, 4th and 6 for the Vikings. They go over the middle to
Brown!
touchdown! Cade Brown splits a couple of defenders. He's into the end zone, and the Vikings an extra point away from tying it up.
Wow, that's big there, Scott. fourth and 6 and 20-yard line. You throw a 20-yard pass to Cade Brown. That just shows the senior leadership of this Vikings team. Cade Brown playing both sides of the ball.
Quirin trying to tie it up. It's low.
I think it's good.
But it's good. 4:25 to go in our first quarter. Parsons 7, Topeka-Hayden 7. We'll be back with the kickoff in 30 seconds. This is Viking football on V93.
Life is about movement, and the human body is like any high-performance machine. When miles add up, parts wear down, and that's when pain begins, and here's where it ends. At Levette Health, our nationally recognized orthopedic and sports medicine surgeons use advanced techniques to reduce recovery times and relieve pain for miles to come. Feel like new again at Levette Health in Parsons, Kansas. For more information, go to levettehealth.com.
And welcome back to a very rowdy Marvel Park. Vikings on a 20-yard strike from Mack to Brown have tied this game up at 7 points apiece. Here's the kickoff. It's a shorter kickoff. Hits, takes a funny bounce, and it is going to barely crawl into the end zone. Boy, Hayden caught a break there. That ball barely crawled across the goal line for a touchback. Otherwise, Hayden was going to probably be trapped inside their 5 to start their drive. And so, but Tony, we mentioned that the Vikings, the offense really needed to answer, and they most certainly did. They made a big statement there, scoring on 4th and about 6.
Yeah, the defense last week, Scott, started off a little slow and then picked it up. So hopefully the defense can pick it up and get a stop here.
Hanukkah under center. First down run. Boy, into the secondary already and caught from behind.
Wow,
that was the guy that you're gonna hear his name a lot. Cade Mitchell with a great run for about a 16-yard gain out to the 36. And you know, when I was reading about Hayden, all their running backs just talked about how fun it was running behind that offensive line, and you can just see they're very talented, very, very strong, very quick. This will be the biggest challenge for sure that the Viking defense has faced all season. So here we go. 1st and 10 for Hayden from their own 36. Hanukkah goes back to Mitchell, and the Vikes bottled him up, and their flag comes in.
Late flag.
So it could be a hold, or it could have been a face mask. The play went away from our press box. Hard to say what it was. I'm looking for a reaction from the Hayden players.
Not seeing anything yet.
No. Sometimes maybe a flag that ends up getting picked up. If you're just joining us, 3:49 to go in the first quarter. No, it's going to be against the Vikings because Hayden's clapping. 3:49 to go in the first quarter. We're tied at 7.
Chop block.
Oh, a chop block on the defense.
Okay. I don't know.
Everybody around me is looking like, since when? I don't know. A chop block on the defense. That's interesting.
Yeah, something must have happened.
I wonder if that was. I don't know. We'll have to see if we can get an explanation on that later. Makes it a 1st and 10 for Hayden from their own 47. Hanukkah wants to throw this time. Has a man open. Catch made.
Wow.
Slips by 2 tacklers and then caught from behind.
Yeah, big
Once
play
again,
there.
that was Schrickle. We've called his name a couple of times tonight. And Hayden is so good in the run game, Tony. They mix in that play action, and it makes it really tough on opposing defenses. So 1st and 10 from the Viking 33, 3:28 to go in our first quarter, tied at 7 points apiece. Line up in that wing T offense.
Ridley.
Mitchell.
That's Ridley.
Ridley, thank you. Has a nice run, maybe a first down. Dom Ridley, 5'8" senior.
Yeah, they got the 1-2 punch with Mitchell and Ridley, and then they've got the fullback, Desch, that had a good run earlier too. So, and Desch was in there on that lead block there. So, I mean, they've got a power running game.
Yeah, they are right now having their way with the Viking defensive line on this drive. 2nd and 1 for the Wildcats from the 24. Another running play. It's a first down and more. Tackled inside the 10 down to around about the 7. It's going to be 1st and goal for the Wildcats.
Finn Dunshee.
So Dunshee is suited up.
They must be limiting his carries.
Yeah, these running backs are something else for Hayden. Viking defense with a hand on their hips trying to figure out how they're going to stop this Hayden offense. Yep. Jensen Schrickle comes split to the near side. Hanukkah puts a man in motion, gives it to the fullback, and he goes forward for about a yard, down to the 6-yard line.
Yep. Broderick Desch on the carry there.
That's a 205-pound junior fullback.
He just looks like built like a brick. I mean, he looks just tough.
Vikes taking on an undefeated Topeka-Hayden team here in the sectional round of the state playoffs. Hanging tough. Tied at 7, 2 minutes to go in the opening quarter, but Hayden knocking on the door. 2nd and goal from the 6-yard line. Hanukkah looks over the defense. Comes under center. Takes the snap. Running play over the right side for a touchdown. Virtually untouched. That was Dunshee.
Wow.
Into the end zone. Hayden goes up 13-7 with 1:48 to go in quarter number 1.
It's just going to be one of those battles, Scott, that is just going to be back and forth, and just see how long we can keep matching it. Because at some point, we either got to keep matching it or somehow our defense has got to step it up. But like you said, you get that play action, they can roll out and pass. That's tough to beat.
And the extra point is good. 1:48 to go in quarter number 1. Hayden 14, Parsons 7. We'll be back in 30 seconds. This is Viking football on B93.
Labette Community College is meeting the need for an increased demand in qualified radiographers. Our radiography students will train on the latest technology in a hospital simulation environment.
I wanted to be able to go into a career where I could help people. And if you're going to go into that field in this part of the 4-state area, LCC is the only place to come.
Tuition is nearly half the cost of universities. Scholarship and financial aid available for those who qualify. Text radiography to 620-293-6671 for more information or visit labette.edu.
Minute 48 to go in the first quarter. Hayden 14, Parsons 7. Mason Becker has the ball teed up at the 40-yard line for the Wildcats. And we're ready for more football. High end over end kick. Will the Vikings field it? Again, it's Haygood fielding it at the goal line. He's up to the 10, 15, spins and knocked backwards.
Should have let that one go in the end zone.
Yeah, I think when you're backpedaling right to the goal line, probably better just to go ahead and take it at the 20-yard line, but Vikings will take over 1st and 10 around the 17 or 18-yard line. Tony, they had a nice drive, great drive actually. Yep. Last time they had the ball. Let's see if they can duplicate it here late in the first quarter.
Yep, they need to do the same thing. I think they can try to run just to see, but I think they might have to do a lot of passing tonight.
Mack, he wants to throw on 1st down, and he's got a man. It's Wheat, and he powers forward for a 1st down.
Big play there by Wheat, 11 yards on the catch.
And if the Vikings can continue to do that, Tony, while they're maybe not getting the yards they want early from Washington, you could run a draw play.
Yeah.
Get the defense thinking pass, and then run a draw play. Maybe something will open up in the middle for the Vikings' big senior running back. Time looks like Landon Wheat comes to the near side. Vikes have it 1st and 10 from the 29. It is Washington. He's hit hard at the line of scrimmage. Battling hard. Yeah, he's battling hard, but he's not going to get much. We'll
I don't
say
even think he
at
got
the
back
most,
to the line of scrimmage.
At the most a yard. I think they are going to mark him at the 30. So we'll give him 1 yard.
Wow.
And we know how strong Washington is. We've been watching it all year, and so far not a lot happening in the run game for the Vikings.
Yeah, they're going to have to really wear that that line down to be able to get some holes, but right now there's nothing there.
Exactly 1 minute to play in the first quarter. It's Hayden 14, Parsons 7. Trip to the state semis on the line. Vikes facing a 2nd and 9. They're going to run it. Washington coming to the near side, and just not a whole lot there. About another yard. And Tony, they're doing kind of what you had suggested. Maybe try to run him wide.
Yeah, and it's not working.
The Hayden defense, we've seen it from the Viking defense all year. When you have a great defense, they can just pretty much shut down everything that you do.
Yep.
And so far, the only thing that has worked for the Vikings has been short passes through the air. And I can't help, Tony, I think at some point the Vikings may have success with a deep shot.
Yep.
3rd and 8, 13 seconds left in the quarter. Vikings trying to convert on 3rd and long. Mack rolls right. Now he comes back. They try to set up a screen. It's busted up, or we're going to have a flag. Yep, he hit Washington way early.
Yep.
And he knew it right away. It was Kidd on the coverage. So Washington was waiting for the pass. The Vikings had Mack roll right. Then he was going to throw back to the near side.
And that screen pass worked 2 weeks in a row, once against Columbus, once against Iola in the first week of the playoffs. Washington about 23, 24 yards both times. And I have a feeling if he catches that, he might go at least the first down, maybe further.
So the officials still having a discussion. There's no doubt it's a penalty on Hayden.
Yeah, I'm not
but
sure.
They're huddled up trying to figure something out. Only 5 seconds to go. Oh, they are waving off the flag. I don't understand.
Wow.
Because the side official who threw it, man, he did not hesitate.
Well,
Saying the pass was
it's within 5 yards. I don't know.
He was obviously waiting for the pass and just got blasted before the ball arrived. So the Vikes are going to have to punt. So Viking coach is not happy, but they didn't go totally ballistic, Tony, so they must have been somewhat okay with the explanation. So tough break for the Vikings. They're going to have to kick this away. Quirin will kick it away from his own 20-yard line. It's a low kick.
Spinning kick.
And it bounces, fielded at about the 27-yard line. Boy, he is the return man very quick.
Oh, wow.
Gets by 2 or 3 men and gets out beyond the 40-yard line. And that's where Hayden will take over right around their own 42.
Yeah, Schrickle's a good, fast kid.
Yeah.
But, man, he needs to take better care of that ball. That ball was
it was
way out there wide. I thought we could have knocked it out.
Well, that was the final play of the first quarter with the Wildcats leading the Vikes 14-7. We'll step away for 30 seconds. Be back with quarter number 2. You're listening to Viking Football on V93.
At this time, would you please stand and be recognized for your service to our great nation? Thank you.
Welcome back to Marvel Park, everybody. Scott Marlowe, Tony Fuentes with you as we get ready for second quarter action. Topeka-Hayden leading Parsons 14-7. Wildcats have the ball 1st and 10 from their own 43-yard line. As expected, a running play. It goes for a decent gain of about 5 yards. Mitchell once again, and Tony, they're getting big chunks on the ground virtually every play.
Yeah, we just don't have the answer right now, and we're going to have to try to figure it out, or this could go the wrong way for us.
And they run a wing T, double wing type offense. Long time ago, the Vikings ran the double wing for a few years. Hanukkah takes the snap. Running play for a first down and a little bit more inside the Viking 40 down to about the 39. as Hayden continues to be winning the battle at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, it's just big hole. I mean, there's just a big hole there every time. I mean, they're getting 8 to 9 yards before they're even getting touched.
Now was Ridley on the carry down to the Viking 40-yard line. Hayden has it 1st and 10. 11 minutes to go in the first half. Hayden on top 14-7. And depending how this game plays out, Tony, boy, that missed opportunity.
Yeah, at the very beginning.
At the very beginning for the Vikings when they recovered that fumble on the opening kickoff, looming large right now.
Dunshee.
Looks like a reverse coming back towards us, and the Vikings stringing it out. We have a flag thrown, and the Vikings take care of that trick play with no problem. Hopefully this flag is a hold on
them, and we can just
Hayden, and we can just decline it.
Decline it and go 2nd and 18.
Or they're pointing towards. They're kind of pointing towards the Vikings. I think now they're coming over talking to Coach Scheibe. Okay, so I think it is on Hayden. There was a big loss on the play, so I'm sure he'll decline it, and he does. So great job by the Viking defense, and we'll see if they can take advantage of that now that they have Hayden 2nd and long. I mean, Tony, not to be negative, just going by what we've seen so far, even on 2nd and long, Hayden can just potentially run 2 plays and pick up the first down. Hopefully the Viking defense can stiffen. They do keep it on the ground. Dunshee,
that's a big
gain down to about the 35.
That's about a 14-yard gain there, so it's still going to be 3rd and 5.
And now with that big of a gain, you're assuming 4-down territory.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, minus that trick play, I mean, just a regular run, we haven't stopped them for anything less than 4 or 5 yards.
Ball spotted just short of the Viking 35. We have 10 minutes to go in the first half. Hayden on top 14-7. Once again, they'll send Jensen Schrickle out as the one wide receiver. Dunshee cuts it back in, gets away from one man, and he's got the first down, it looks like. It's going to be close, but I think he has it right at the 30-yard line.
Wow.
One of the Vikings slow to get up. I think it was Jamarcus Washington who's a little gimpy. It is a first down. Yeah, this running attack, we knew it was a force to be reckoned with, and Hayden, what they're doing right now to the Vikings is what they've done to every opponent they've played this season. We'll see if the Viking defense can make some adjustments, figure out a way to slow up this running attack. Running play over the left side for a nice gain. Vikings have to gang tackle the fullback, Desh.
That's about a 7 or 8 yard run there on first down.
Ball spotted at the 23-yard line, so they'll bring up 2nd down and 3 for the Wildcats. Clock stopped momentarily. Now they wind the clock. 9:10 to go in the first half. Hayden on the move once again. They lead the Vikings 14-7. And they have it 1st and 10 from the Viking 23-yard line. Running play as expected, and it goes for a nice gain down to the 15. That is another Wildcat first down.
They're just getting 7, 8 yards with ease. I mean, it's just not even close.
It's kind of what we've seen the Vikings and Jamarion Washington do to several opponents this year, where they just get big chunks on virtually every play.
Yeah, they're doing just about anything they want with the ball.
So we'll see what happens here. It's 1st and 10 from the 15, and that means the defense has less real estate to defend. Maybe they can bring some guys up closer to the line of scrimmage. Try to halt this drive. Desh over the left side for a short gain. Well, it's
still
not
4 yards.
Not as short as I thought, but I guess after you're used to seeing 8 or 9 yards, 4 yards does look short, but it was a nicer run than I realized, right down to the Viking 11-yard line. So we'll call it 2nd down and about 6. 8:05 to go.
Yeah, at this point, I mean, if I'm running the ball like that, I just keep running it.
Desh and Ridley in the backfield. They give it to Ridley. He's got a nice hold. There is a flag down as he pushes toward the goal line, and it is very close. It is a touchdown, but it may come back. We have an injured Viking as well. did not get a
Chandler Henson.
holding on Hayden, so take away the touchdown.
Yeah, Chandler Henson's down. Coach Scheibe's out there with him.
We know he had been nursing a sprained ankle, but I don't think this was an issue with his ankle, but he's just kind of lying flat on his back right now. 7:47 to go in quarter number 2.
That's going to go to 2nd and 15, Scott.
Okay, so we'll, maybe this is a chance. Maybe Hayden will try to get cute, do a play action, and maybe the Vikings can get a pick 6. You just never know. But with Hayden leading at 14-7, 7:47 to go in the first half, we have a injury timeout. So I'm going to say thank you to some of our sponsors bringing you Viking football in 2023. Thank you to Sparklight, also SEK Orthopedic, Doctors Mosier, Meister, and Morris, Olson Ace Hardware, Snyder Lawn Care, Parsons District Schools, Parsons Educational Foundation, Bowen Pharmacy, Roy's Auto Service, Strategic Partners, Wood Insurance Center, also Tank Connection, Community National Bank, Dress for Less, Labette Center for Mental Health Services, Bartlett Co-op, Labette Bank, Eye Care Associates of Parsons, Doctors Newland, Gilmore, and Ray, Commercial Bank, Carson Wall Funeral Homes, Woodworth Enterprises, Labette Health, Clemens Insurance Agency, Forbes Hoffman Funeral Homes, and also Labette Community College, all bringing you Viking football. So again, 7:47 to go in the first half. Vikings trying to keep it close here against Topeka-Hayden, who came in at 10-0. It's Hayden leading Parsons 14-7. They're on the move again, but after that holding call, they face 2nd and 15 from the 21. Running play over the right side. I think it's Ridley who has it, and he has a decent gain down to about the 15 or 16. So now
it's going to be 3rd and 10.
And Tony, I said, earlier when they were back around the 35, I said 4-down territory. But now that, depending on what happens here, they obviously have a talented freshman place kicker. They're up by 7. They might want to say, hey, let's go ahead and try to make this a 2-possession game.
It just depends on what they get on this 3rd and 10 here.
If they pick up 2 yards, they might send on the kicker. If they pick up 7 or 8, I'm sure they'll keep the offense on the field.
I'd like to hopefully they pass here and we can intercept it.
Yep, play action. He's got a lot of time to throw, finds a man.
Wide open.
It's his fullback for a first down to around the 5-yard line. It looked like Desch on the reception. He had a lot of time to survey the field, Tony.
Yeah, too much time. Yeah, but you got guys kind of sitting back in the box, thinking they're running, because that's all they've done. And so that you don't really have a blitz coming, so he's got all the time in the world when he does throw.
1st and goal for the Wildcats from the Viking 4, leading at 14-7. Running play to Ridley. He's over the right side, and he's into the end zone for a touchdown. Dom Ridley.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. It's one of those things that if we don't find some way to stop him, this is going to just be a runaway.
Yeah, the Vikings, they will get the second half kickoff, Tony. If they can march down and score, have a long drive, get within 1 score, and then get that opening kickoff, who knows? But the extra point is good. Hayden 21, Parsons 7. 6:40 to go in the first half. We'll be back in 30 seconds. This is Viking football on V93.
Life is
And we're back live at Marvel Park. 6:40 to go in the first half. Topeka-Hayden preparing to kick off to the Vikes. Wildcats leading at 21-7. It's a high end-over-end kick that looks like it's going to reach the end zone, and it barely does. And the Vikings will take over 1st and 10 for the 20. How about that? Freshman place kicker with the touchback.
Yep.
Booted that ball about 61 yards right into the end zone. And Tony, again, that Viking short passing game has been where the success has come. And I'm sure Hayden will probably at some point, if we keep doing that, will make some defensive adjustments. But hopefully the Vikings can figure out a way to march down.
Yeah, we need a score.
We need about a 6-minute drive.
Yep.
You know, chew up the rest of this clock, go into the locker room just down 7, and then get that second half kickoff. You know, against a team like Hayden, just try to keep it close. Just try to keep it close. Here we go. Trey Mack looks over the defense. Play action. Pass caught by Wheat.
First down, I think.
Very close to a first down. They push him back. He caught it right at the 30. And that would be enough for a Viking first down. They pushed him back about 5 yards, but he did catch it right at the first down marker. So that should be enough for a first down.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but, you know, Washington just can't – if he can't get going,
yeah,
you're going to have to keep throwing the ball.
So, yeah, that offensive line doing everything they can. But, I mean, this is a very, very talented defensive unit. They do run it this time. Nice cut by Washington. And he gets into the secondary.
15-yard run.
Wow, down to the 45. Boy, that had to feel so good for the senior running back to see a little bit of space.
Wow. Big time for Jamarian Washington there. That's what we've been seeing all season.
Yep, looked like he was going to run wide. Boy, but he's for a big guy,
nice
he knows how
cutback
to make a cut and explode. So it's 1st and 10 from the 44 off that 14-yard run. Clock at 5:43 and counting. Vikes 1st and 10 from the Hayden 44. They give it to Washington again.
Nothing.
Boy, he tried to bounce it outside, and that Hayden defense just collapses on the senior running back for no gain. Bring up 2nd down and 10. 21-7 is your score. Hayden on top. If you're joining us late, Vikings recovered a fumble on the opening kickoff, had a golden opportunity to jump on top of the Wildcats. Had it on the Wildcat 25. The drive stalled, and then a 30-yard field goal attempt went wide right. Mack from the shotgun. He wants to throw. Down! 10, 5, it is a touchdown! The Vikings with a huge play. You know, Coach Scheibe said he wanted 2 big plays for touchdowns tonight, and there's one.
Wow.
How far was that, Tony? I lost
56 yards.
56-yard pass play, and the Vikings in business.
Wow.
21-13. What a throw and catch. Mack to Kendrick. Extra point.
Good.
No good. No good. Wow, you haven't seen Quirin miss many extra points this year, but it's still a one-possession game. Quirin upset with himself, but hey, it's still a one-possession game. 4:51 to go in the first half. Hayden 21. Parsons 13. We'll be back in 30 seconds. This is Viking Football on V93.
Life is about movement, and the human body is like any high-performance machine. When miles add up, parts wear down, and that's when pain begins, and here's where it ends. At Labette Health, our nationally recognized orthopedic and sports medicine surgeons use advanced techniques to reduce recovery times and relieve pain for miles to come. Feel like new again at Labette Health in Parsons, Kansas. For more information, go to labettehealth.com.
Marvel Park still buzzing after that 56-yard touchdown bomb for the Vikes. Here's the kickoff, fielded at about the 4-yard line by the Wildcats. Going to be a nice return at the 30, 35.
Return.
Look out, he may go the distance.
Yeah, he's gone.
45, 40, 30, 20, 10, 5, and that is going to be a touchdown.
For Mitchell.
What a huge play and what a huge answer by the Hayden Special teams, you haven't really seen that happen. I think we've given up maybe one touchdown this year on a kickoff.
Yep.
What an answer by Mitchell and the Wildcats, and just like that, 27-13, Hayden leads by 14. 96-yard touchdown return.
Wow. Yep, just when we got a little spark, they took it right back. But same thing. I mean, we just need to go down and score. We're going to have to keep matching it.
Yep.
Yeah, Becker.
Extra point. Good again. He's 4 out of 4. 4:36 to go in the first half. Hayden 28, Parsons 13. We'll be back in 30 seconds. This is Viking football on B93.
Life is about movement, and the human body is like any high-performance machine. When miles add up, parts wear down, and that's when pain begins, and here's where it ends. At Labette Health, our nationally recognized orthopedic and sports medicine surgeons use advanced techniques to reduce recovery times and relieve pain for miles to come. Feel like new again at Labette Health in Parsons, Kansas. For more information, go to labettehealth.com.
And we're back live at Marvel Park. A lot of action in the last 20 seconds here at Marvel Park. Vikings had a 56-yard touchdown pass from Mack to Kendrick, but that is answered immediately by Hayden. Mitchell with a 96-yard return on the kickoff for a touchdown, and Hayden leads 28-13, 4:36 to go in the first half.
Wow.
So, Tony, we've already mentioned it a few times, Vikings have been relying on Washington all year, but their one advantage tonight seems to be through the air. Here comes the kickoff, returned out to the 20, slips, and goes down at about the 21 or 22-yard line. And that's where the Vikes will take over. 1st and 10, 4:33 to go in our first half.
Yep, going to have to just keep answering the call. That's about all we can do. I mean, we've seen that we can throw against them, so, I mean, we're just going to have to keep throwing the ball.
You know, I wouldn't mind if we do throw on first down, I wouldn't mind something similar to what they scored on their first touchdown. If Cade Brown's out there, Cade Brown right up the middle from his tight end position. Talk about a tough matchup for a lot of defenses. Cade Brown, always a handful. Vikes do want to throw on first down. A lot of time. Mack in trouble. Now he's going to run it, and he's going to get caught, and it's going to be a sack.
About a 4-yard loss.
Tony, I think he waited about half a second too long to decide to run it.
Yeah, if he would have went just a little bit quicker, I think he at least got past the line of scrimmage.
Right.
Because there was some room on this right side.
So 2nd and 14. Make it 2nd and 15 for the Vikes. Loss of 5 on that play. 2nd and 15 for the Vikes from their own 16-yard line. Clock on the move, 3:53 to go. Less than 10 seconds on the play clock. Vikes will have to hustle up, or Coach Scheibe's going to have to burn a timeout here.
Yeah, it's
2 seconds.
They're going to go.
They get the snap off. Quick hitter. It's caught.
Landon Wheat.
And they're going to get back what they lost on the sack, plus about another 4 or 5 yards out to the 25-yard line.
That was Kendrick. That was Kendrick.
Nice job by Kendrick, giving the Vikings a manageable 3rd and 6.5 to go here.
9-yard pickup.
We'll call it 3rd and 6. Ball spotted right on the 25-yard line. 3:15 to go in the first half. Topeka-Hayden leading the Vikings 28-13. Vikings one of only 3 teams to score more than 7 points against this Hayden defense, and they were able to do it in less than 1/2 a play. Mack looks over the Wildcat defense. Vikes need a first down here. He rolls to the near side, looks, and he's got a man. It's a first down. Kendrick again out to around the Hayden 39-yard line. And that's
a 14-yard pickup there.
That's big for a lot of reasons, Tony. Obviously, you want to try to get down into the end zone before halftime, but, you know, just if the drive does stall, you don't want Hayden to have any time
no kidding.
to extend what is already a 15-point lead. Kendrick Wheat come to the near side. Mack throwing more tonight than he has all year. Running play to Washington. We have a flag thrown. Probably a hold on the Vikings would be my guess. It came from the side judge on the far side of the field.
And maybe we can get them for a chop block.
Oh, I forgot about that bizarre chop block call on our defense earlier. No, illegal motion on the Vikes. That'll back them up 5 yards. I'm assuming they'll take the penalty, and they do. It's the ball back to the Viking 34-yard line. 2 minutes, 50 seconds to go in the first half. Again, Topeka-Hayden leading the Vikes 28-13. Both teams have their full complement of 3 timeouts. Topeka-Hayden 10-0 on the season. Vikings sitting at 9-1. What a great season it has been for the Vikes. 1st and 15. Now we got a timeout called by Coach Scheibe. There was some, I think they were trying to possibly changing the play at the line of scrimmage. So 2:28 to go in the first half. Hayden leading at 28-13. We'll step away for a 30-second commercial break. This is Viking football on V93. First and 15 for the Vikings from their own 34-yard line late in the first half. They trail Hayden 28-13. They go with a trick play, and boy, Hayden snuffs it out. Washington, Jamarcus Washington ends up having to run for his life and actually lost a yard. They were going to have Washington throw it.
Yeah, Landon Wheat was wide open, way deep.
And he just didn't have time to throw it. The Hayden defense was all over Jamarcus Washington. Otherwise, like you said, Tony, it was probably going to be a touchdown for the Vikes.
I don't know what kind of arm. I've never really seen Jamarcus throw it much, but, I mean, if he had – Landon Wheat was 10 yards past the defenders.
Clock was stopped. He must have went out of bounds. So 2nd and 18 for the Vikes. Mack to throw. Goes deep down the near sideline looking for Kendrick, and it's going to be over. I don't think they're going to throw a flag. The ball landed out of bounds. If that had been thrown inbounds, it probably would have been a penalty. So now, Tony, Vikes looking at a 3rd and 18. Still over 2 minutes left on the clock. And even though Hayden is a run-oriented offense from what we've seen, especially with 3 timeouts.
They've been getting in bunches.
Wow, they could, or rather – 3 timeouts for Hayden. I think, you know, they could march down and put another 6 or 7 points on the board.
Yeah, you got to – I mean, we're forced to throw here.
Yeah, Vikes are going to burn their 2nd timeout of the half. 2:15 to go in quarter number 2. Again, your score, Hayden 28, Parsons 13. We'll take another 30-second break. Be right back. You're listening to Viking Football on V93. 49 for a first down. And Tony, I feel a little bit silly since we're still in the first half, but I'm almost thinking, can we almost say the game's on the line here?
Yeah.
It almost feels like it. The Vikings need to figure out a way to get a first down. Pass play, lots of time for Mack. Wants to go over the middle, and he misses everybody. There were 2 receivers there, and it went in between both of them.
Yep.
And now the Vikes will almost certainly have to kick it away, facing 4th and 18 from inside their own 40, and still over 2 minutes to go in the first half. Vikings have already given up a 96-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. But, they also, on that opening kickoff, forced a fumble and recovered it. Maybe they can do something like that here on the punt. Bad snap, Vikings in trouble, and it is a disaster for the Vikings. Hayden tackles Queern. I didn't have a good look at it, Tony. Was it an errant snap?
Yeah, just a bad snap.
And Hayden in business, 1st and goal inside the 10.
About the 7.
Wow. Viking defense has really had their hands full tonight. They're going to have to somehow figure out a way to hold Hayden to a field goal here. But even that would make it a 3-possession game. Hayden already leading at 28-13. That's a shame.
Yeah.
It's the kind of mistake we haven't really seen all season that I can think of for the Vikings. Connor Hanukkah with a golden opportunity here under center. Running play to the fullback. Well, I thought he got stood up, and he did. I'm kind of fighting the support post again out here at Marvel Parks. They're going to give him forward progress to the 5.
2-yard gain there.
Yep, so 2nd and goal from the 5.
That was Dash, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. It was Dash on the carry, and Hayden, they're going to be very, very patient here. They know they've got 3 more cracks at this, and 1:40 on the clock. Their plan is to essentially score another touchdown and not leave the Vikings much time to work with. And that Hayden offense comes up to the line of scrimmage. Hanukkah tried to get the Vikings to jump. They didn't bite. Running play over the right side. Look at the push by that offensive line. I think he's short.
Close, so close.
Just short of the goal line. We'll call it 3rd and goal for the 1.
Yeah. Dom Ridley got all the way to about the half, the 1-yard line.
And boy, timeout. No, official timeout. I'm not sure, maybe with an equipment issue or something, but 1:07 to go in the first half, and I'd have to go back and look at Hayden's.
Chandler Henson down again.
No, there is an injury. That's a shame. Henson looks like he's got his helmet off. It's either his.
I think it's his ankle.
I think it's
again.
that ankle again. That's a shame. But I was going to say, Tony, Hayden hasn't scored, or rather, they haven't given up hardly any points all year. Vikings have put up 13, which is better than what most teams have done for an entire game. But their offense, they really haven't scored a ton of points this year. But man, they're going to have
35 here in the first half.
However, having said that, if they score here, you can essentially say their special teams have scored 2 of the touchdowns. They had the kickoff return, and then the bad snap on the Viking punt, resulting in a 1st and goal from the 7. So they've been definitely given a gift here. And they'll go for it on 4th down if they don't score here. We're ready for action. 3rd and goal. Hanukkah puts a man in motion. Dash over the left side and into the end zone for another Topeka-Hayden touchdown. And just like that, with 1:04 to go in the first half, Hayden leading the Vikings 34-13.
It's tough to stop that running attack. I'm really impressed by this little freshman kicker, though. He's
Becker
good.
Trying to
Really
be 5
good.
for 5, and he is. 64 seconds to go in the first half. Topeka-Hayden 35, Parsons 13. We'll be back in 30 seconds. This is Viking football on V93.
Life is about movement, and the human body is like any high-performance machine. When miles add up, parts wear down. And that's when pain begins, and here's where it ends. At Labette Health, our nationally recognized orthopedic and sports medicine surgeons use advanced techniques to reduce recovery times and relieve pain for miles to come. Feel like new again at Labette Health in Parsons, Kansas. For more information, go to labettehealth.com.
Parsons Vikings need a big kickoff return here. It's going to be returned by Washington. Fumbles it and kicks it. Do the Vikings recover it? They do.
Mackay ball.
An almost near disaster. Again by the special teams. You know, I'm trying to jog my memory here, Tony, that the special teams, they haven't made a lot of huge plays this year, but they haven't made a lot of mistakes either.
Yeah.
But they have had some issues tonight. Vikings fortunate to cover up that fumble, and they have exactly 1 minute to work with and only one timeout. But you know, down 35-13, even though they get the second half kickoff, Tony, I'd say they have to come out and be aggressive.
Yeah. I mean, Landon Wheat scored in 8 seconds at Prairie View last week.
Trey Mack from the shotgun. He does want to throw. Coming to the near side. Nobody's looking for it. It's intercepted. Nobody was looking for the ball. It's going to be returned to the 20, 10, and knocked out around the 5-yard line.
Wow.
The receiver and the quarterback just simply were not on the same page, Tony.
That was an unbelievable catch by Schickel.
Yeah, he caught it over his shoulder. So the wheels have pretty much fallen off here for the Vikings late in the first half. And what was, you know, after that 56-yard touchdown play for the Vikings, it made it 21-13. It looked like, hey, at halftime the Vikes are going to be in this, and now
not looking good.
No, things have just fallen apart.
Yeah, because they've got all 3 timeouts, Scott.
Yeah.
I mean, they can run, and time
and bring it out to the 5, and the ball is fumbled. No, the Vikes have
it. Still running.
I thought I saw the ball pop free. I don't know what I saw. It must have been an optical illusion. Somehow Washington got out of a huge mess and gets out to the 24-yard line. Only 7 seconds left in the half. I'm sure the Vikings will come out and take a knee.
Wow.
And just get to the locker room, try to stop the bleeding after this onslaught by Hayden in the last 5 minutes of the first half. In the other sectional game in the east side of the bracket is Frontenac taking on Holton tonight.
At Holton, I believe.
I think you're right. Vikings down 42-13. We have a flag, so pass play nearly intercepted. 3.5 seconds to go. I think the Vikes maybe were lined up illegally. I think they threw that flag. Yeah, and it's an illegal formation because they threw the flag as soon as the snap was made. Tony, at this point, you just got to take a knee.
Yeah.
Because things have really fallen apart.
But honestly, you got to try something. I mean, it ain't going to hurt to throw a deep pass and just see what happens.
Yeah, you could always get a defensive penalty.
Yep.
You know. Phillips checks in for the Vikes. Mack in the pistol will take a knee this time, and Vikes go to the locker room down 42-13. What a finish to the first half for the Hayden Wildcats. They were given a couple of gifts, unfortunately, by the Vikings. And, you know, again, it wasn't, you know, you look up, how did this defense give up 42 points? And they really didn't. They really didn't. You know, you could essentially say the special teams has given up 3 touchdowns in the first half, and you just haven't seen those kind of mistakes this year from the Vikings. Tony, Vikings, for the most part, they limited their penalties.
Yeah, they did.
You know, they did a lot of things right, and they were, I mean, with less than 5 minutes to go in the first half, they were right in the middle of this thing.
After that J.J. Kendrick long touchdown, 21-13, you know, and then kickoff goes to the 3-yard line, and Mitchell just takes off.
Wow. Well, we will step away for a 10-minute break, and then we'll be back with the Bowen Pharmacy postgame show. Again, your halftime score, Hayden 42, Parsons 13. You're listening to Viking football on V93.
Captain Kendall Young.
Labette Community College is meeting the need for an increased demand in qualified radiographers. Our radiography students will train on the latest technology in a hospital simulation environment.
I wanted to be able to go into a career where I could help people. And if you're going to go into that field in this part of the four-state area, LCC is the only place to come.
Tuition is nearly half the cost of universities. Scholarship and financial aid available for those who qualify. Text radiography to 620-293-6671 for more information or visit labette.edu.
With many years of combined experience, Eye Care Associates of Parsons has set the framework in providing comprehensive eye health examinations for all ages and routine vision care for families throughout the four-state area. Our optometrists and staff provide remarkable care with state-of-the-art technology to help with diagnosis and management of eye health conditions. Give us a call or visit our website to schedule your next eye exam. Eye Care Associates of Parsons. Experience modern eye care.
Unbelievable! Sparklight is unveiling unlimited internet for just $25 a month. Get reliable 100 meg internet for just $25 a month for 12 months with unlimited data. That's unlimited internet. Call 877-469-3057 or visit sparklight.com/savings. Sparklight, a new breed in high speed.
Bowen Pharmacy supports the Parsons Vikings here, and here, and here. It's our goal to keep you covered. At Bowen Pharmacy, we give no excuses for you not to make it to the game. And it's always a great day to be a Viking.
first. Vikings trailing at the break, unfortunately, to the Hayden Wildcats, 42-13. The wheels just fell off the final 5 minutes of the first half for the Vikes. They were right in the middle of this thing, only down 21-13, and then a couple of a miscue by the special teams, and then an interception, Tony, that looked like there was just miscommunication between the quarterback and the receiver.
But a great catch.
It was an unbelievable catch by the defensive back. And then we do want to give our listeners an update on the other sectional game in the eastern half of the bracket. At halftime, Holton leads Frontenac 14-7. I have a feeling that game will go right down to the final couple of minutes. Tony, the Vikings had a great start.
Yeah.
Forced a fumble on the opening kickoff, had it 1st and 10 from the Hayden 25. They couldn't get it into the end zone, and then very reliable senior place kicker Jace Quirin pushed a 30-yard field goal wide right, which was unfortunate. That kind of, gave Hayden a little bit of momentum, so to speak. And but the Vikings, they had some nice plays offensively. They had trouble running the ball because they can't get enough of a push at the line of scrimmage. But they had the 20-yard pass over the middle to Cade Brown for a touchdown. And then that beautifully thrown ball from Mack to Kendrick for a 56-yard touchdown that made it 21-13. But, man, that was followed 10, 15 seconds later, 96-yard kickoff return by Mitchell for Hayden. That made it 28-13. And then the Vikings had a bad snap on a punt. 7-yard drive is all it took for Hayden to go up 35-13. And then that interception was returned to the Vikings' 6-yard line. Yeah. So just a 6-yard drive, and Hayden taking full advantage of the Viking miscues, and they are in control at the break, 42-13.
Yeah, the positive note, Scott, is Trey Mack is throwing the ball fantastic. Kendrick has 5 catches for 108, which is probably one of his best games of the year.
Yep.
Wheat 3 for 59, and Brown 1 for 20, and that was that touchdown. But 187 yards for Mack through the air. A couple of touchdowns, that one interception. But like we said, Schickel just made an unbelievable over the shoulder catch.
It was incredible.
But offensively, passing, we've looked great. Unfortunately, Washington only ran for about 20.
Yeah, it was a struggle to run the ball in the first half for the Vikings, and we've seen it several times this year, and part of this is by design. Coach Scheibe wants to be able to run the ball, so a lot of times the Vikings didn't have necessarily a balanced attack. It was very run-heavy, which is fine, but we thought tonight it was going to have to be a balanced attack, and it's been the flip. They haven't been able to run the ball tonight, and it has been by far Trey Mack's best game of the year, because he has been forced to throw, and obviously down 42-13, the Vikes will have to continue to throw the ball in the second half. And is it going to take a miracle to get back in it? Yeah, but stranger things have happened.
Yeah,
you come out, if you get a score on the first drive, because I can guarantee you right now, Topeka-Hayden thinks this game is over.
Yeah.
If the Vikings can come out, get a touchdown, maybe even run a kickoff back for a touchdown, just get some kind of momentum early in the second half.
Get a couple of stops.
And, there was a couple of ball carriers by Hayden that kind of carried that ball a little bit loose.
Yep.
The Vikings can force it. We've seen what happens with turnovers. That's what happened to the Vikings at the end of the first half that really gave Hayden a chance to build this big lead going into the locker room. I hope the Vikings come out and play with confidence in the second half. And because obviously if they don't come back and win this, is obviously it for the seniors, and I hope they just come out and play a great 24 minutes of football and just don't roll over against this powerful Hayden squad. I think they're going to put some more time on the clock. If they do, we're going to step away for a commercial break. Yep, they're going to put another 3 minutes on the clock. So again, your halftime score, Hayden 42, Parsons 13. We'll take a 2-minute commercial break and be back with the second half. You're listening to Viking Football on V93.
At Labette Community College, we're passionate about medicine and compassionate about people. Our highly trained instructors provide innovative career-specific education in the field of diagnostic medical sonography. Do you already have an associate or bachelor's degree in healthcare? Earn an additional certification in sonography. LCC offers a 12-month completely online program with a clinical component. In as little as 1 year, specialize in OB, abdomen, or vascular. For more information, text pound SONO to 620-293-6671 today. Apply online at labette.edu.
Bowen Pharmacy supports the Parsons Vikings here, and here, and here. It's our goal to keep you covered. At Bowen Pharmacy, we give no excuses for you not to make it to the game. And it's always a great day to be a Viking.
Unbelievable! Sparklight is unveiling unlimited internet for just $25 a month. Get reliable 100 meg internet for just $25 a month for 12 months with unlimited data. That's unlimited internet. Call 877-469-3057 or visit sparklight.com/savings. Sparklight, a new breed in high speed.
Life is about movement, and the human body is like any high-performance machine. When miles add up, parts wear down, and that's when pain begins, and here's where it ends. At Labette Health, our nationally recognized orthopedic and sports medicine surgeons use advanced techniques to reduce recovery times and relieve pain for miles to come. Feel like new again at Labette Health in Parsons, Kansas. For more information, go to labettehealth.com.
Welcome back to Marvel Park, everybody. Scott Marlowe, Tony Fuentes with you as we get ready for the second half of our sectional playoff game. Topeka-Hayden with a big lead at the break, 42-13 over the Vikes. But, Tony, another positive I want to mention, not very many Viking fans have left.
No.
And that's great to see, because these kids and this coaching staff have worked their tails off all season long, and just one of the most successful seasons in the history of the program.
Yeah.
They're sitting at 9-1 on the year, have made it to the final 8 in the state playoffs, and it looks to me like the kids are coming out with some bounce in their step.
Yep.
And I think Coach Scheibe probably challenged them to go out and just play as hard as they have played all year, if not harder.
Win this half.
Yeah, win the second half. This Hayden team is going to be hard to come back on facing this kind of halftime deficit, but maybe, just maybe, the Wildcats will let their guard down a little bit. Vikings somehow come up with 2 quick scores.
Yep.
Hey, anything is possible. Here we go. We're ready for the second half kickoff. Vikings return man will be backed into the end zone. He's going to bring it out. No, it's a touchback. He fielded it in the end zone, and that's an automatic touchback. So Vikings will take over 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. Really one of the big stories of that first half, Tony, before that big, that bad 5-minute stretch there at the end, it was really just that Hayden defense being able to stop Washington.
Yeah.
And that's
something that
they're just winning the battle up front.
Yeah, we haven't had trouble with him getting his yards all season.
So we'll see what the Vikings want to do on their first possession of the second half. They give it to Washington, and he falls forward for a short gain.
Maybe 2.
Yeah, because you can't completely abandon the run, especially when we're just starting the third quarter.
Yeah, they didn't give him a very good spot. They only gave him a yard.
Yeah, I thought he got at least 2 yards on that. So it brings up 2nd down and 9 for the Vikes. Again, if you're joining us late, it was 21-13 Hayden with less than 5 minutes to go in the first half, and Hayden put up another 21 points in the final 5 minutes. Boy, another running play.
He gets about 3
that
on
looked
that
a little bit more like Washington as he powers forward to the 24. You know, and Tony, one thing, Washington, he should be well rested. He didn't get nearly as many touches in the first half as he normally does because the Vikings had to end up putting the ball in the air a lot more than they usually do. Now Mack running back into the huddle. 10:54 to go in the third quarter. Hayden up 42-13.
I show you only ran the ball six carries in the first half.
Yeah. Probably a passing down for the Vikes, 3rd and 6. Play action, over the middle, tipped and nearly intercepted. They were looking for Wheat on a slant.
Yeah, that's not what we wanted. It's going to be a punt.
Going to be 3 and out. Ball was just maybe thrown a little bit high. You know, Landon Wheat can leap, has long arms, but just a little bit too tall, and it was well defended. So Quirin backs up to his own 11 to punt it away. So, yeah, that's not what the Vikings were hoping for. Quirin
nearly blocked.
High punt, fair catch called for.
Good field position.
Yep, Hayden will take over on their own 42. So the Vikings only had the ball for about a minute and a half. And you just pretty much know Hayden will keep doing what they did in the first half. They're going to use that powerful running attack. Again, probably their best running back. Really hasn't played much tonight, Tony. They're limited his touches because he's kind of been hampered by an injury. Running play on first down. Mitchell into the secondary. First down into Viking territory, down to about the 43, 44-yard line.
14-yard gain.
Viking defense hasn't been gashed like this the entire season, and
yeah, they're running with extreme confidence.
You know, and it's just, you know, sometimes you're just outmatched.
Yep.
You know, at the line of scrimmage, and I think that's what we've seen here tonight. As we know, the Viking defense has carried this team most of the year. Running play to the near side.
It's Ridley this time.
Inside the 40 down to about the 37. It's been Cade Mitchell, Dom Ridley, Hanukkah, the quarterback. All he does, it hasn't really had to do much tonight, Tony.
No.
Just take the snap and give it to one of those running backs, let the offensive line.
Desh has had some good runs.
Yeah, the fullback Desh has done some nice things.
And even when Dunsh's in the game, I think he had 2 runs, and both runs were over 10 yards.
Yep. Ball spotted just inside the Viking 38-yard line. 9:25 to go in the third quarter. Hayden up 42-13. Mitchell, boy, nice cut. And then the Vikings close in on him quickly, and he's knocked down at around the 35-yard line.
2.5.
And almost certainly 4-down territory for Hayden from this spot on the field. So unless there's a penalty or something, they're probably just going to keep the ball on the ground, keep chewing up yardage and the clock.
Yeah, they're not in much hurry. They're just...
Yeah, they're going to be very, very patient, very deliberate. This time just one running back, and they put a man in motion. Well, it's going to be a pass play on 3rd and short. Pump fake going deep for the end zone. Smart back there, missed it, and it's caught. Smart could not. I think that was Smart on the coverage, and he just couldn't find the ball. I think if he could have found the ball, Tony, he probably would have had the interception because there was a lot of air put under that.
Yep, if he just turns around, that's an interception.
He just could not find the ball. It's been that kind of night for the Vikes, and, you know, they haven't had to defend the pass very much tonight. But Hayden on 3rd and short went with the play-action pass, and they're in business again, 1st and 10 from the Viking 12. Connor Hanukkah under center. Takes the snap, gives it to Mitchell over the left side. Boy, stood up.
Wow.
Who got that hit? That was Washington on the tackle. Jamarcus Washington. Nicely done by the Viking defense. About 1-yard pickup. 8 minutes to go in the third quarter. Hayden really pulled away from the Vikings late in the first half, and they enjoy a 42-13 lead. Winner of this game will play the winner of the Holton-Frontenac sectional game. Hanukkah again puts a man in motion. Pitch play to the near side. Mitchell gets away from one tackler and hit hard but falls forward probably a first down to around the 1 or the 2 yard line, and it's going to be 1st and goal for the Wildcats.
Yep, first down.
Tony, I will say this. This may end up being an ugly final score for the Vikings. You know, they got blitzed 62-18 by Sabetha 5 years ago, and this score may end up being roughly the same tonight if things keep going the way they are. But I can guarantee you this Viking team is a lot closer to this Hayden team than that 2018 team was to the eventual champ Sabetha. Running play. It's the
dash.
Fullback dash, and he is across the goal line and into the end zone for another Hayden touchdown. They now enjoy a 48-13 lead over the Vikes. Exactly 7 minutes to go in the third quarter. Now the freshman place kicker will come out and try to make it a perfect 7 for 7 on point after attempts. You know, Tony, this is a 35-point lead as we stand. We could be looking at a running clock in the fourth quarter.
Oh, it's a fake.
I don't know if that was a bad snap or a fake. I was looking down at the roster, and it is complete. 2-point conversion is good, and that makes it 50-13. Help me out, Tony. Like I said, I was looking down at my roster. Was that planned?
No, I think it was planned. I mean, he just caught it and just stood up and threw it.
Well, let me ask you this: we're gonna keep it right here because that's confusing to me. Why do you think?
I have no
why
idea.
They would do that?
I have no idea. That's just something they're practicing or something.
It's been a clean game. No unsportsmanlike penalties. No personal fouls. That's a bizarre call by the coaching staff.
Yeah,
it
didn't look like a bad snap to me. It looked just like he caught it, stood up, and just threw it. Yeah, this kickoff here's. I mean, I think the Vikings just need to do something positive. I mean, these fans are, like you said, they're sticking around. They're supporting this team. But
wow, 50-13, Topeka-Hayden leading the Vikings. Exactly 7 minutes to go in the third quarter. It's another high end-over-end kick, and it just hits. The Vikings are going to have to pick it up, and they do it about the 6-yard line. I think it's Makai Ball. No, it's Washington, and he fumbled, and it's recovered by Hayden. Another special teams miscue, and Tony, it's just been that kind of night for the Vikings.
Yep, that's too bad.
Yeah, you just haven't seen those kind of mistakes from the Viking special teams all season long, and unfortunately, you know, and we've seen this before, just at not necessarily the Vikings, but just any team, when the wheels fall off, sometimes it just snowballs and it just gets worse and worse and worse. Because that was going to be a nice return by Washington, and then he just coughed it up.
30, yep.
Tough break for the Vikes. Hanukkah gives it to Dash right up the middle.
Oh, big run.
Man down to about the 20-yard line.
Yep, 10, 11-yard pickup there.
So we are, I'm pretty sure even in the state playoffs they still go with a running clock, and I don't think there's any way that that's going to be avoided now by the Vikings. And these are obviously, these are teenagers that we're watching, and they're going to make some mistakes. It's just a shame that they came in bunches tonight for the Vikes. And the Vikes jump off sides. Because they've limited penalties tonight, Tony. We've
only had like 2 penalties, and they're both 5 yards, I believe. Maybe one hold for 10, but I think a 5-yard penalty, 10-yard penalty, all I can remember.
So while the defense has struggled to stop the run tonight, this big number that's on the scoreboard for Hayden really isn't all on the defense. Now here, new running back in. He just follows that big offensive line, though.
He gets all the way inside the 5.
Inside the 5 is probably going to be first and goal. That was
Krentz.
He's just a sophomore. The Hayden coaching staff has to be feeling great because they're going to be able to, looks like they're probably going to be able to rest their starters in the fourth quarter.
Mitchell's still out there.
6 minutes to go in the third quarter. Hanukkah brings the offense up to the line of scrimmage. Again, a running play up the middle for an easy touchdown. Jude Krentz makes it 56-13 in favor of Hayden. And Tony, I will admit I did not anticipate it being this much of a blowout, but there's no way to anticipate that many miscues by the Parsons special teams. Because ultimately that's what's led to this.
We've gave them 4 times really, really short field.
Yeah.
2 times like inside the 10, and 2 other times really short. So, I mean, that's just unfortunate.
So the extra point is good, makes it 57-13, and now you're going to see a few Viking fans head to the exits.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised, pretty good drive for the folks from Topeka. I wouldn't be surprised if some of them might, when this third quarter is over, might head for the exits as well. It's pretty obvious tonight, Tony. The Vikes were up against a superior opponent, which we figured, Hayden was considered the favorite to go to the state championship game out of the East. But like you said, we've gifted them basically 4 touchdowns tonight, and that there's no way that they are this much better than the Vikings. But typically what they have done against other opponents, use that powerful running game, control the clock, go down, and they haven't been challenged much this year because of their running game and because of their stout defense. But, unfortunately, some mistakes by the Vikings tonight just
keeps
they just didn't get, ever since that kickoff return by Hayden, the Vikings have just they continue to shoot themselves in the foot. This kickoff goes into the end zone for another touchback. So at this point, Tony, come out, play as hard as you can, and play clean. There's no need to
be unsportsmanlike.
I don't think the Topeka-Hayden kids will be out there talking trash or anything, and so hopefully the Vikings, don't get the unsportsmanlike penalties, or we don't want to see anybody get ejected.
Yep, I already see a few new numbers on this defense. I think they are taking some guys out of the lineup. There's Washington to the near side.
Wow, Washington cut down. Now at first I thought he might have gotten injured. Fortunately, that's not the case.
Yeah, no gain.
Well, it's pretty obvious the Vikes will come up short tonight, but man, Tony, as we reflect on this season.
Yeah, there's a lot of good things.
Man, Coach Scheibe and his staff, they have just done such an outstanding job this season, and the kids have played so hard and given Viking fans so much to cheer for. There's the snap, quick hitter to Kendrick, and he's got the first down across the 30 to about the 33. So a positive play there by the Viking offense. 5 minutes, 5 seconds to go in the third quarter. Hayden leading 57-13 over the Vikes. Again, about exactly 1 quarter ago, 5 minutes to go in the second quarter, it was 21-13.
Yeah,
believe it or not, and Hayden has outscored the Vikings 36-0 since that point. Trey Mack throws it out, and it's caught. But the receiver
had his knee
down, and you can't do that at the high school level or the play is blown dead. It was Wheat who made the reception, but the ball was just thrown too low.
It's going to end up being a 2-yard loss.
Yeah, it's a loss back to the 30-yard line. So it hasn't worked out like the Vikings had hoped, obviously, tonight. But like I said, the Vikings hadn't been this far since 1976 going into the 2018 game. And then it only took them 5 years to get back. A lot of movement on the
flags
offensive
everywhere
line. So that'll be a false start on the Vikings. And that'll back them up 5 yards. 4:03 to go in the third quarter. Hayden up big over the Vikes. So clock on the move now as we tick under the 4-minute mark. See, the Vikings can start clicking a little bit on the offensive side of the ball. They had some nice pass plays in the first half. Mack, there's that little counter to Phillips, but that defense closes in on him. The defense is, they're not just fast, Tony, they're disciplined.
Yeah.
You know, they're just how this is a well-coached Hayden football team.
Yeah, we got third and 17.
Yeah, third and a long ways to go for the Vikes. You know, Hayden, they've just taken advantage of every mistake that the Vikings have had tonight, and that's why they are up by 44 points. Wheat split to the near side. Mack from the shotgun. 3rd and 18 for the Vikes from their own 24. Vikes do a reverse, double reverse. Now it's going to be a pass play looking for Phillips, and it is intercepted.
Wow.
Back at the Hayden 45-yard line. Yet another turnover on the Vikes, and undoubtedly this is the most.
There's a penalty back in the backfield. I think it might be unsportsmanlike.
Yeah, we had
somewhere.
Mack threw his helmet down, so he's probably going to get an unsportsmanlike conduct. That'll cost the Vikings 15 yards.
Yeah.
So the Vikes, it looked like it was going to be a double reverse, and then the Vikes pitched it back to the quarterback, Mack, as the frustration really begins to build now. But, you know, here again, that shows the discipline that we just talked about of the Hayden defense. They didn't really fall for all the razzle-dazzle there by the Vikings.
And it was
just kind of dropped back.
A great interception.
You know, but the ball, it was a good pass by Mack. Phillips was right there in the area, but the defensive back, the safety, just had a better read on it.
Yeah,
so after the 15-yard penalty, Hayden takes over on the Viking 40-yard line. Let's see who they have. Looks like they still have Hanukkah in at quarterback. Running play to the near side. Mitchell. No, it's Ridley. You're right. And another big gain inside the Viking 30.
Yeah, we just have had no answer for the multiple running backs, Scott. I mean, I'm guessing they're averaging almost 10 yards a carry.
Yeah.
And they've had a few 5-yarders, but they've had just as many 15, 16-yarders too.
Yeah, that's I know Prairie View did a really nice job running the ball against the Vikes in the first half, but then the Vikes shut them down in the 3rd and 4th quarters. But, yeah, the Vikings just haven't been able to stop this unbelievable running attack of Hayden. Boy, that time they did.
Yep. That was Krentz on the carry, but Mitchell's still in the game. He's in there as a blocker.
I think it was Jones, the freshman, who got in on that tackle, possibly, if I saw the jersey number right.
I think you're right.
Clock on the move, just over 2 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Hayden being very patient. They know they are definitely in control. Here late in the 3rd quarter, up 57-13 over the Vikes. Hanukkah, another running play to Ridley. Tries to spin away, and it's a short gain.
Wow. There was a lineman pushed all the way out inside the 15.
That's incredible.
Wow.
Ball is spotted on the right, basically at the right hash. Viking 28-yard line, 3rd and about 9 for Topeka-Hayden as they continue to chew up a lot of clock here. Late in the 3rd quarter, up big over the Vikes. Krentz, the running back. They give it to him right up the middle, and he
nothing there.
Has a short gain, maybe no gain.
It's going to be 4th down.
Yeah, that'll bring up 4th down as we go under 1 minute here in the 3rd quarter.
I think this is the first 4th down for them, maybe. Have they had another 4th down?
You know, I know that they haven't punted.
Because they had that 3rd and long, and they picked it up in the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, you may be right. This may be the first time they've faced a 4th down. And they get up to the line of scrimmage. 10 seconds on the play clock. 30 seconds left in the quarter. Let's see if they keep it on the ground here with the big lead. They do. Running play.
Ridley
caught from behind.
That's our first
by
stop.
Brown. And then gang tackled, and the Vikings will get the turnover on downs. Clock stops with 16 seconds to go in quarter number 3. Vikings trailing Hayden 57-13.
Holton leads 29-14.
So if that score holds up, it'll be Holton and Hayden.
29-15, sorry.
Okay, 29-15.
And it's still in third quarter.
So the Vikings have the ball 1st and 10 from their own 23-yard line. Trey Mack, senior, takes the snap, gives it to Washington, comes to the near side, and there's a nice pickup out close to the 30-yard line, and that should be the end of quarter number 3. So at the end of the third quarter, Wildcats 57, Vikings 13. We'll be back in 1 minute. This is Viking football on V93.
With many years of combined experience, Eye Care Associates of Parsons has set the framework in providing comprehensive eye health examinations for all ages and routine vision care for families throughout the 4-state area. Our optometrists and staff provide remarkable care with state-of-the-art technology to help with diagnosis and management of eye health conditions. Give us a call or visit our website to schedule your next eye exam. Eye Care Associates of Parsons. Experience modern eye care.
Unbelievable! Sparklight is unveiling unlimited internet for just $25 a month. Get reliable 100 meg internet for just $25 a month for 12 months with unlimited data. That's unlimited internet. Call 877-469-3057 or visit sparklight.com/savings. Sparklight, a new breed in high speed.
And we're back live at Marvel Park. This will be the final 12 minutes of the Vikings 2023 season. What a season it has been. Vikings 9-1 on the season. Obviously, they're going to come up short tonight to this powerful Hayden squad who leads the Vikings 57-13. I'm assuming we'll have a running clock here in the fourth quarter. We'll know here in a bit. Looks like Hayden. I think I see some new guys out there for Hayden on defense. Mack wants to throw the ball. He's in trouble. He's going to be sacked back at the 20-yard line. That was number 56 for Hayden, Julian McGivern, 5'9" sophomore.
Yep, doesn't matter who they bring in. They still got studs back there waiting, Scott.
So off that sack, that makes it 3rd and about 10 for the Vikes. Ball spotted right around the 22 or 23-yard line. Vikes, I don't think they're going to get this play off, Tony. They're just getting the play in, and there's 7 seconds left on the play clock. I think the Vikes are going to burn a timeout.
Yeah, they got
How did they get that off?
quickly.
Pass play down the far sideline and a little bit too far.
Overthrown.
Boy, it was.
Wow, I thought Landon Wheat was going to get to it.
Well-thrown ball just out of the reach of Landon Wheat. That brings up 4th down for the Vikes. And, Tony, the clock's not running. So maybe at this point in the season, there is no running clock.
That's interesting. And I think we're going to punt. Sure enough.
Brady Heinen, one of the 2 return men for Hayden, along with Jensen Strickle. He's had a couple of nice plays tonight for the Wildcats. Now facing 4th and long, Vikes go ahead and burn a timeout. 11:07 to go in our ball game. Hayden 57, Parsons 13. We'll take a 30-second break. You're listening to Viking football on V93.
Life is about movement, and the human body is like any high-performance machine. When miles add up, parts wear down, and that's when pain begins, and here's where it ends. At Labette Health, our nationally recognized orthopedic and sports medicine surgeons use advanced techniques to reduce recovery times and relieve pain for miles to come. Feel like new again at Labette Health in Parsons, Kansas. For more information, go to labettehealth.com.
So we are back at Marvel Park. During the timeout, we found out this point in the playoffs, you have to have a 45-point lead for there to be a running clock. Hayden leading the Vikings by 44. Jace Quirin standing on his own 11-yard line to punt it away. He's going to fake it, and it's broken up.
Intercepted.
So you can't blame the Vikings at that point. I mean, they have nothing to lose. Jace Quirin looking for a man on the fake punt attempt, and Hayden will take over deep in Viking territory around the 22, 23-yard line.
Yep, it's just tough. Everything's going Hayden's way.
Yep.
Very, very disciplined, tough team.
Vikings did a great job tonight limiting their penalties. They just didn't limit the turnovers, and that was their undoing. Still have their starting quarterback, who's technically their second-string quarterback in the game, but Ridley with a nice run down to about the 16-yard line, went over the right side. Vikings are going to finish this very successful 2023 campaign 9-2. They came just so close to being district champs. I think virtually everybody that watched that front in that game felt like the Vikings were the better team. It just didn't go their way in the end. Hayden facing a 2nd and 4. Comes up to the line of scrimmage. Running play up the middle, it was Krentz on the carry. Jude Krentz, that sophomore fullback. And it was enough for the first down to around the Viking 13-yard line.
That's still, Holton still up 29-15, under 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. And Holton has the ball.
Hanukkah under center takes the snap. Running play over the right side. Vikings gang tackle Dom Ridley. So they're going to spot the ball inside the 10 at about the 9-yard line. 9:40 to go in our ball game, with the Wildcats leading the Vikes 57-13. As we expected, Topeka-Hayden being very slow coming out of the huddle. Connor Hanukkah takes the snap. Running play over the right side, and the Vikings give up another touchdown.
I think it's Ridley.
Dom Ridley gets it into the end zone, makes it 63-13. I didn't bother looking up Hayden's schedule right before the game. I looked it up a couple of days ago. I don't think they've been anywhere close to 63 points at any point in this game, but the Vikings gave them so many short fields tonight that it made it easy for the Wildcats. As we now have a running clock, the extra point is good. Everything has gone right for Hayden from about the 5-minute mark of the second quarter up till now. 64-13, Hayden on top. We'll be back in 30 seconds. This is Viking football on V93.
Labette Community College is meeting the need for an increased demand in qualified radiographers. Our radiography students will train on the latest technology in a hospital simulation environment.
I wanted to be able to go into a career where I could help people. And if you're going to go into that field in this part of the four-state area, LCC is the only place to come.
Tuition is nearly half the cost of universities. Scholarship and financial aid available for those who qualify. Text radiography to 620-293-6671 for more information or visit levet.edu.
And we're back live at Marvel Park. We now have a running clock for about the final 7 minutes and 20 seconds. Hayden leading the Vikings 64-13. Hayden kicking off. It's a low line drive kick. We picked up at about the 11-yard line by the Vikes. And a good return. Nice sidestep by the return man. He's out to the 40 and then knocked out of bounds.
At the 44.
Washington on the return, Jamarcus Washington. That gives the Vikings good starting field position. Offense back out on the field. You know, you got a feel for the Vikings seniors, Tony. You know this is definitely not how they wanted their high school football career to come to an end.
Yeah, it's been definitely a senior-driven squad.
Yep.
14 seniors on this team, and most of them play quite a bit. So very tough.
Trey Mack. Oh, we have a stoppage in play. Not sure. Oh, timeout by Topeka-Hayden. So 6:22.
Timeout, Hayden.
I think the clock should actually stop because there's a timeout.
What's the name?
Not that it will matter. We'll just keep it here at Marvel Park.
Brody King.
I think they're wanting you to stop the clock.
I'd like to announce our fans of the week this week.
So they're trying to. Obviously, it won't matter, but 64-13 is your score. Viking offense still huddled up around their coaching staff. They head back out onto the field. Ball is spotted at the Viking 43-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Vikes. Trey Mack gives it to Washington. He's got some nice blocking out in front of him. He's into Hayden territory.
A 9-yard run.
You know, that's what we've seen all year from the Vikings with Washington running the ball, and I know Hayden has put in some of their reserves on defense now, resting their starters for their upcoming state semifinal battle, probably against Holton, but it's definitely not over yet.
Under 6 minutes, Holton's still up by 2 touchdowns.
Okay. Kendrick in motion for the Vikes. About 5 minutes to go in our game and in the Vikings season here. Trey Mack hands off to Washington again. Sheds one tackler, and he has the first down inside the 45 of Topeka-Hayden. Clock on the move, 4:45.
Scott,
to go in our ball game. Yes, sir.
Looking on a positive note, there's a lot of these players that we're going to see on the basketball court. So
yeah,
a lot of them will still have some sports to play their senior year. Some of them, do wrestling. Some of them play basketball, and then a lot of them play track. So run track and even Landon Wheat's a baseball player. So but it's just disappointing. I know.
Nice running play here again by Washington. Nice pickup on first down.
Disappointing to lose this game, but man, we've talked about it all night. They've had a great season.
Yeah, to go 9-2, and if some strange things hadn't happened in that Frontenac game, the Vikings would
could have been
10-0 tonight, and they would have been playing Holton.
Yeah,
in this round is how it would have played out.
Yeah.
Definitely would have been a better matchup for the Vikes. Mack, play action, hits his man, and a great tackle out in the flat. Wow. Landon Wheat upended. That was a nice tackle by Brady Heinen. 5'7". He's just 140 pounds, but he got down low enough, took Landon's legs out from under him. So 3rd and about 2.5 yards coming up for the Vikings.
And Holton just scored another touchdown, so it's under 3 minutes.
And that should wrap it up.
35-15.
That's almost certainly going to be Holton versus Hayden in the semifinals. Running play. Boy, nice blocking here by the Vikings, and a nice run by Washington. He's at the 15, 10, 5, and he's going to get into the end zone for a touchdown. That's nice to see for the senior running back. He has been such a workhorse this season for the Vikings. Nice to see him get into the end zone for a touchdown. That makes it 64-19 in favor of Hayden. You know, and Jace Quirin, who has been Mr. Automatic for the Vikes, has had a rough night tonight. So it'd be nice. I'm sure this will be his last chance, his last kick of his high school career. It'd be nice to see him boot this one through, as he typically does.
Not sure why we got J.J. Kendrick coming in the block.
That's interesting. High snap. The Vikes are just going to have to throw it up for grabs, and this is going to end up being essentially a 2-point conversion attempt that goes nowhere. So that kind of sums up how a lot of this night has gone for the Vikes. 64-19 is your score. Let's just take a 30-second commercial break. We'll be back. This is Viking football on V93.
Bowen Pharmacy supports the Parsons Vikings here and here and here. It's our goal to keep you covered. At Bowen Pharmacy, we give no excuses for you not to make it to the game. And it's always a great day to be a Viking.
Welcome back, everybody, to Marvel Park. Less than a minute to go and the clock on the move here, running clock, about the final 7.5 minutes of this game. Hayden in charge, 64-19 over the Vikes. I guess we'll probably have enough time for the kickoff. You'll want to stick around for the Bowen Pharmacy postgame show just to hear, what Coach Scheibe thinks about not just tonight's game, but just the season, the 2023 season in its entirety, and because it's just been such a great season for Viking football. There's 20 seconds to go. Vikes just a little pooch kick, and Hayden downs it at about the 38, and that should be the last play of the game. The Hayden Wildcats advance to the state semifinals. They are the sectional champions as they knock off the Vikings by a final score of 64-19. They are now 11-0 on the season. The Vikings finished the 2023 campaign with a great record of 9 wins and 2 losses. Let's step away for a 4-minute commercial break, and we will be back with the Bowen Pharmacy postgame show. You're listening to Viking football on V93.
true. It's true. Tell everybody to pick up their trash. I think people are. Look at that. They all are. Any help would be appreciated.
Watch your head. Will take on Holton next Friday night, and boy, they're going to be a tough out, Tony.
Yeah.
You would have to think that Hayden is probably going to be playing for a state championship here in a couple of weeks. They were just unstoppable tonight with that running attack, and just too many mistakes by the Vikings special teams. I think one touchdown drive only went 7 yards, and another one went 6 yards for Topeka-Hayden, and you just can't do that.
And the Vikings kind of shot themselves in the foot right off the get-go. They had that turnover, had the ball in the 25. We talked about it.
Yeah.
They didn't get it in the end zone. They got it down to the 6, and then ended up missing a field goal. But, I don't know if that would have made any difference if we had punched that in early on. I just feel like Hayden just had so much ground attack that we just couldn't stop it.
Yeah, I think – momentum's a very strange thing, and if the Vikings could have kept it close going into the second half, they would have had a chance. Because I don't think the play calling for Hayden would have changed, because they would have just stayed with that ground attack, and because they were dominant at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. But the Vikings could have changed up some things on their play calling. But man, when you're down 4 touchdowns in the second half, the playbook gets pretty thin.
It's tough to overcome that. It's just very unfortunate that it kind of all unraveled that last 4 minutes and change in the first half, because when it was, like you said, when it was 21-13, I was sitting there thinking, man, 21-13, if we can hold them anything here and then we get the ball first in the second half, we got a chance to tie this thing up.
Yeah. The whole complexion of the game could have changed. I'm not the Vikes obviously just didn't have an answer for Hayden's running attack, but 64-19, there is no way that there's that much disparity between these two teams. It was just the turnovers by the Vikings just did them in, and it would have been nice to be a little bit closer on the scoreboard. But I hope the kids aren't hanging their heads too much, because you think about some of the difficult winless seasons that this program has had in the not too distant memories. To go 9-2, 2 postseason wins. We talked about the 1976 team that made it to the semifinals, and then not another postseason win until 2018.
Wow!
And the Vikings got a couple of postseason wins that year against I think Girard and then Prairie View. And then now here 5 years later, they get a win against Iola and Prairie View, so two more. So it'd be an understatement to say that the Viking program, is moving in the right direction.
And we had, I think 2 years ago, we had a win against Prairie View in the first round of the playoffs, and then went to Girard and lost the second round.
Yeah, that's right. I
think that was 2 years ago.
Because we beat Prairie View here.
Yeah.
Yep, and then went over and lost to Girard. That's right.
And then we lost to Girard in the first round last year.
So, final score 64-19. As expected, Coach Scheibe having a little bit longer talk than usual with his team, and hopefully Coach will remember to come up and talk to us. He almost always does.
Well, they're breaking the huddle.
Yeah, they just broke the huddle. So we'll wait.
See. I think he had a white hat on.
So
if I remember right.
We'll take another commercial break if we need to. If I can see Coach Scheibe jogging over here, then we'll just keep it at Marvel Park. But I can't even find him, Tony. He's out there.
Yeah.
He's out there somewhere. Well, instead of taking a commercial break, I want to say it was nice to see some of those senior leaders for the Vikes on the offensive side of the ball made some plays tonight. Trey Mack, his best game.
Yeah,
of the year, had a couple of picks, but I don't know that they were his fault. One was definitely miscommunication, and then the other one was just it was just desperation.
He definitely had some big games. I think. Against Baxter, and there was a couple
against lesser competition,
but against tough, stiff competition, to throw for a couple 100 yards, is I would venture to guess that's probably the most passing yards that's been put up against Hayden this year. Yeah,
I'd say that's almost 100% certainty, and our first touchdown, we've seen it several times this year. Cade Brown from his tight end slot, just right up the middle on a nice route, and then a perfect strike from Trey Mack, and then of course we had the 56-yard bomb from Mack to J.J. Kendrick, and then late in the game it was nice to see Washington, the senior running back, find the end zone. So so some of those familiar names made some big plays tonight for the Vikes. It was just that. It had been on the defensive side of the ball. That's what had carried the Vikings for most of this season, and they just did not have an answer for the Hayden rushing attack tonight. And I still haven't found Coach. So let's.
I haven't either.
Okay, he's still out there getting some congratulations. Let's give Coach 2 minutes to get up here. We'll take another 2-minute break, and if Coach keeps getting held up by well-wishers, we'll just call it a wrap. But we'll take a 2-minute break and be right back. This is Viking football on V93.
Labette Community College is meeting the need for an increased demand in qualified radiographers. Our radiography students will train on the latest technology in a hospital simulation environment.
I wanted to be able to go into a career where I could help people. And if you're going to go into that field in this part of the four-state area, LCC is the only place to come.
Tuition is nearly half the cost of universities. Scholarship and financial aid available for those who qualify. Text radiography to 620-293-6671 for more information or visit labette.edu.
Unbelievable! Sparklight is unveiling unlimited internet for just $25 a month. Get reliable 100 meg internet for just $25 a month for 12 months with unlimited data. That's unlimited internet. Call 877-469-3057 or visit sparklight.com/savings. Sparklight, a new breed in high speed.
Bowen Pharmacy supports the Parsons Vikings here, and here, and here. It's our goal to keep you covered. At Bowen Pharmacy, we give no excuses for you not to make it to the game. And it's always a great day to be a Viking.
As we continue with the Bowen Pharmacy postgame show, Vikings fall tonight to Hayden 64-19, finish their season at 9-2. Hayden advances to the state semifinals at a perfect 11-0 record. We're pleased to be joined now by Viking head coach Jeff Scheibe. Coach, I know that's not the way anybody wanted this season to come to an end. You guys were right there with 5 minutes to go in the first half after that big pass play to J.J. Kendrick from Trey Mack. And, boy, then there were just some miscues by your special teams that we haven't seen all year, and that really just seemed to be the undoing, along with just that virtually unstoppable rushing attack that Hayden brings to the table.
Yeah, that after we made it 21-13, and that they ran that kickoff return back for a touchdown, it was kind of a backbreaker, and I should have went with my gut.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted the onside, but I also didn't want to give them a short field.
Mm-hmm.
With 4 or 5 minutes left to go in the first half. But I really, really wanted to onside it right there, just kind of short pooch it and give us a chance to recover it. And then we let that guy run about a 98-yarder back for a touchdown. So that was extremely frustrating. And like I said, it was a backbreaker and really blew the game wide open. And I think they scored about 21 points there in the last 4 minutes of the first half, and really exploded things up because we were feeling good on the sideline when it's 21-13, get a stop.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least 21-13 at halftime, you get the ball coming out at half, and that certainly was not the case. But our kids never did give up. Frustrating because they only ran about 5 plays all night, and we were calling out about every single play they were running, but we just couldn't stop it.
Well, were they just that dominant at the line of scrimmage? Was that the difference?
Yeah, they were, and we were maybe misaligned a couple plays, but
mm-hmm.
yeah, we didn't perform very well, and they were just washing us down, kicking us out. They were running a counter, a belly, buck, and they sprinkled in a pass every now and then. So they didn't run a whole lot at us. We just couldn't stop it.
Yeah, and Tony and I were talking, before you came up here. If it's 21-13 at halftime instead of, I don't even remember, was it 42-13?
42-13.
That your playbook gets really thin at that point, you would think, and it just makes it tough. And I want to know how Washington was doing, because I know this was by far the toughest defense he has had to run against. Did he get frustrated? Because I know he just wasn't able to run the ball like he normally does.
No, he never really got frustrated. A couple times we went the wrong way, but when you're down 42-13, it's hard to continue to keep running the ball.
Yeah, that's the thin playbook.
Yeah. So, I'm glad he got one there at the end.
Yeah, that was great. We talked about that too. It was nice to see. Trey Mack, I thought, threw some great balls tonight. It was nice to see him. You had to open it up and throw the ball tonight, obviously. And then
probably should have took a knee when it was 35-13 with a minute left. But
that
was an unbelievable catch
by their defensive back.
That was over the shoulder.
I hate taking a knee when it's 35-13.
Yeah, that's understandable. But J.J. Kendrick had the nice touchdown. Landon Wheat made some nice plays. Cade Brown had that first touchdown for you. It was nice to see those senior guys. We've been calling their name all year. It was nice to see them, perform pretty well, very well in a game like this.
Yeah, and I told them they're not going to be defined by, this game tonight.
Right.
I know we look at the scoreboard, and that's obviously not the way we foreseen tonight. But those kids, they've won 24 games over the last 4 years.
Yep.
And I don't know what that ranks over. That's got to be the best, senior class. Winning percentage is probably the 80s if I had to guess.
Yeah.
So, they've had a great career, and those guys are going to, we're going to look back at that class, and that class is what changed Parsons football.
Right.
Yep. Trey Mack, J.J. Kendrick, Cade Brown, those guys, Brody Boss, Guop, Jamar Washington, those guys are, I'm obviously leaving out several seniors, but that senior class is what really transformed and really changed the culture at Parsons. Yeah. And I know they're upset right now, but I told them at halftime, I said, listen, guys, you're the only game tonight in Southeast Kansas.
Yeah. You
guys are champions.
Yep.
Don't let tonight define you in any way. A lot of kids are at home. You're one of 8 teams left in Class 3A still playing football. And do not give up. Don't roll over. Champions don't do that. And I didn't think we rolled over.
Yeah, and we talked too about we were glad. I think Mac got flagged late for, I think he maybe threw his helmet down or something. But other than that, I thought your kids handled themselves very, very well.
Very disciplined.
When the score got lopsided like that, that's time when things start to get chippy. Sometimes I was afraid we might get a unsportsmanlike conduct, maybe even an ejection down the road if somebody lost their temper, and it just didn't happen. So that was good to see.
And Trey, the kid wants to win more than anybody.
Right.
That happens. I've been in that position before when, it's probably going to be your last game on this field.
Yep.
And
it's tough.
Yeah.
But I told him, man, I was like, I'll have to go back and look at it, but he might be the winningest quarterback maybe since like Chick Chandler.
Yeah, he won a lot of games.
He won 21 games as a starting quarterback. Man. I think he was like 21 and I think like 7 or 8 as a starting quarterback at Parsons. So I told him, I was like, hey, there's little kids up there in the stands watching you. I was like,
they want to be just like you.
Kids want to be just like you. So let's not slam your helmet. He said you've been a heck of a player, and I'm proud of that kid. He's he started since his sophomore year, and I'm really proud of that kid. He's a good kid. He's going to be very successful in life. I love that kid.
And to put up the numbers he did against that Hayden defense, I mean, that's a heck of a way to go out. I know that this final score, the final score does not reflect how close these teams are. They're better on paper, a little bit than Parsons, but not 64-19.
Yeah,
just too many mistakes.
Yeah. And a kickoff return.
And I want to end on a positive note for your special teams. Tony and I had no choice but to mention, obviously, the mistakes by your special teams. But how about the way this game started with your kickoff team forcing that turnover? And I know, unfortunately, you guys weren't able to put points on the board, and I know you were disappointed with that. But, man, what an exciting start to the game.
Yeah, it was, and I was very disappointed that we didn't punch one in there when we had I think we had it on the 7-yard line.
Yeah.
After that pass interference call, they got it 2nd and 1. And then we had a low snap.
Yeah.
And you go from a 2nd and 1 to a 3rd and 6.
Yeah.
That is very frustrating.
Yep.
So I think, things might have been a little different if we could go up 7-0 right there, really put the pressure on them. But it didn't happen. A lot of good football players ended their high school career tonight. And, I'm forever indebted to those kids. They were my first class as a head coach, my first freshman class that I've seen all the way through. Sorry, I said that incorrect. They were freshmen my first year as head coach, and the first class that I've really seen all the way through their senior year, and love those kids. I think a lot of those kids are going to be very successful in life. A lot of them are going to be playing football on Saturdays.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we told them in the end zone, like, we're here for you. We're here for you guys. Yeah. For the rest of your life. Just love those kids.
Yeah. Tony, you got anything for Coach?
I was happy. Just a great season. I know it's not the outcome you wanted tonight, but man, it's a great season, Coach, and the community support, parent support. Everybody's here supporting you guys. At the end of the day, 9-2. You got to look at it as a positive season.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned that because I got to give a shout out to all the Parsons people. Holy cow.
Yeah.
that the send off last week, and then tonight on our way here to the game was unbelievable. Can't thank our fans, for their support enough. And holy cow, it was really neat to see. And I never thought I would ever see anything like that in Parsons. I can't imagine what it would ever be like if we won a state title coming back here. But thank you all of Parsons for everything you guys have done. I'm sorry we did not perform, to our capability tonight. I know so many people were so excited about tonight's game. And for that, I do apologize for our performance. But I do want to thank you guys for being there for us, and we really appreciate it.
Yeah, Coach, it was an unbelievable season. And, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. You and your staff and the kids, they've made Friday nights fun again. There were I started this gig about 10 or 11 years ago, and I was getting to where I was dreading Friday nights because it was ugly for a lot of years, just to be blunt. And for Friday nights here at Marvel Park are fun again, so we thank you for that.
Appreciate that. We have a good nucleus of kids coming back. 8 out of 11 starters back on defense.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
And what a defense it was. They had a rough night tonight, and although that 64 isn't indicative because of some of the short fields they had to defend. But, man, it was a great season. So hats off to you and your staff and the kids. And, man, we're already looking forward to the 2024 season.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Yep. Thanks, Coach. We appreciate your time. And, Tony, thank you to you. Drew, thank you to you for all your work on the live stream. Thank you to Karen Hardesty back in the studio for all of her hard work. And, of course, big thank you to all of the sponsors who brought you Viking football in 2023. And, Tony, unless you have any final thoughts, that's going to wrap it up. That's okay. That's going to wrap it up for our Bowen Pharmacy postgame show. Once again, Vikings season comes to an end tonight as they fall to the Hayden Wildcats by a final score of 64-19. For Tony and Drew Fuentes and for Karen Hardesty, this